This is how I was way more unhappy when I reached my goal and before finding Christ. Back then, I was around 2023, I was a heavy gamer. Like in the school break, like winter break, I would just spend 24 hours just playing games with my friends, and we were just like talking smack to each other, you know. I wasn't actually making anything out of my life until my dad told me that put me into like get me a job in a restaurant. Although he asked me if I was willing, and then I said yeah, since I kind of need money to buy in-game stuff. So I did. I worked a job from 8 to 4 for like 2 months, and I wasn't actually happy from the job. Although the boss, the manager, everyone was good, but with some of the customer and maybe even some of my colleagues were just straight up just, how do I say, just boycott people. And yeah, and I guess after left my job, I guess around in the past 6 months I was actually doing nothing until no in the past 6 months I was actually in my self-improvement arc and working on my fitness aspect. And then in July, I think in July or August, I started a business out of always not making anything out of my life. Because when I was young, I was never good in anything. I was just, maybe a disgrace. I did a lot of bad stuff when I was young, and I was hated, and life is just against me back then. But I started a business out of the revenge, and out of the revenge for to those people that hated me, and not make and I want to make something out of my life, something I can flex on. And I started like I think it's Instagram account managing business, which is I can say it now I think about it, it's like kind of cringe. Now I think about it, because I was actually charging $1,000 just to manage 10 accounts, which I can't even manage, which I don't even have time. But I was grateful that I learned from this, and I started editing videos. My first client paid me $20 to edit a video, and because I was a beginner, I find another Indian that helped me edit it, and we eventually the Indian have trust issue and I found another one, and we split the bill. And and then I kept doing this, and then I guess I was like I made like $500 in total out of editing video. And I think in February 2024, it was my all-time low. I haven't made a single bucks penny for a month straight, because I wasn't editing, because I wasn't getting any client. And when I was not making money, I went to Turkey. It's actually 1 year anniversary, in this day, like a weeks ago, it's actually 1 year anniversary of me going to Turkey. And I think in this day I was in Izmir, or back to Istanbul in Turkey, thinking about life. And the Turkey trip, in like an ancient city, it made me feel alive. It made me feel like I was the next person, and it keeps me going. All the things that I see in nature, it gave me peace. It let me find peace, and basically just widen my view around the world, and it made me feel alive. And another what keeps me going is the fear of working 9 to 5. As I said, I work a job before, and I don't wanna and I guess this applied to school always, because I think I had to bear the school for 2 more years, and I can graduate and get out of this the whole I don't wanna swear professional. I have fear of working 9 to 5 and waking up, pay bills, listening to what the boss says, and I guess just doing what the boss wants me to do, and not actually thinking for myself. And this is one of the part that I can flex it with my family and friends. And they most of my almost all of my relative, not all my relative, their grades are like A tier. They got a good grades beside me, and I actually envy them, and I wanna just use this as a revenge, because some back then my parents will always compare me to them, like saying how they were just like good in grades and I wasn't, and that got me so mad that I just want to make money and flex them, to tell them, hey, I'm making money and you are studying in this, studying for things that you never use in your life. And I and yeah, can say that I didn't flex. They just know automatically, because my parents just told them all. And I don't know, I can see them just not giving an F. And yeah, and then until one of my clients, he's making a few G's by just sponsoring like relevant brands on IG. Like I said, it's a looks maxing brand, looks maxing apps. At the beginning, they pay you like 30 cents per 1,000 views. So, and it's capped at 1,000,000 views. So imagine if you get 1,000,000 views, and no, back then it was like 50 cents. And back if you reach 1,000,000 views and you get 50 cents per 1,000 views, that means you get $500 by just making one video. And I was just like, wow, is this how money will make? Is this how rich people are making money? And I edited for him, learned from him, and I bought a page, and it was a success. You can look at this. This is just 90 days. I've been managing this page for like almost like I guess 9 months, 8 months now, and this is just 90 days. And until it was a few months later, I was viral, and then I got sponsorship. I hit my first 1K per month by sponsoring apps, and soon a shampoo brand. I made my like 2.5K. It's here. It's converted to my country currency, and 1.8K here, because the tax, etc. I made them, and at the beginning I was just happy. I didn't believe myself. I didn't believe that I could do it. I always had doubt, but it paid off. Like almost a year of grief, almost a year of like getting trashed by my so-called friends for starting a business, losing almost everything, and losing the friends. I finally made it, but I was still unfulfilled. Why I was unfulfilled? Because I reached my goal. My goal was actually hit 1K per month in 2024, and I hit it, and I felt empty. There's nothing in my life right now. And I realized all the money I made, my life is still the same. I'm still going to school, sleeping on the same room, same bed, and eating the same thing. Life is still the same, except the money just I can get what I want with the money. But with my age, I can't really go out to the world and travel the world, right? Until this is what I learned. I was lost for like, I guess it's like, I think I was lost for 3 months. Life is still the same, and I was way more unhappy than before. I was lost, and I realized life is still the same, no matter how much you make. If you win a $10 million lottery and you are still like my age, you can't do anything about it. Maybe you can buy your family good stuff, get a new iPhone, I don't know, but life is still the same. And the second is, money doesn't buy happiness. It doesn't. Like I know a lot of people say that. They are wrong. Do you wanna explain? They are wrong. Money doesn't buy happiness. And for the other side, they say money buy a freak tons of happiness. It doesn't. It's a byproduct of it. Money is a byproduct. If you use your money right, it can grant you happiness. But if you use it in the wrong way, it won't. For me, you buying money, but happiness for me is helping people, and I sometimes help people. No, I don't think I ever helped people with my money before, but I found fulfillment like by volunteering work. Because I don't really use my money to help people. Besides that, my friend needs it for like emergency, I'll just lend it. But Hey, wait, yeah, it does buy. You know, when I was out with my parents, I would just treat them a good meal in the restaurant, and it kind of bring me happiness that they don't need to actually provide for me anymore. They can use the money they are providing for me into other stuff, and it just kind of makes me happy when I can provide for my family and you know basically just help people out. The reason I kind of don't donate to charity because most of charity is kind of scam, and because I think most of them just use the charity money to use it in their own favor, maybe donate 30% of it. So it's kind of hard to trust. And money, if it eventually fade, you will never know when you are dying. You can get hit by a car tomorrow. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. You can always die in this second. I can die in this second out of heart attack or something. I can get hit by a car, and all the money that I made will be gone. And when I'm gone, and if I value put money above God, I will not enter the kingdom of heaven. So if I die, I'll go into hell and still suffer. So which is why we need to seek God's kingdom and be the doer of the word. What does Matthew chapter 6 verse 33? Seek first the kingdom of God and everything shall be added to you. Put all of your worries or unfulfillment to God and He will find you a way. He might cause you to do this, and trust me, you'll find fulfillment from it. And because sometimes when I talk about God with my friends or cousin or family, I felt very happy. I felt like I was making God proud by preaching His word, expanding His kingdom like I am right now. And I guess I'm speaking through this Holy Spirit, through the Holy Spirit. I'm not that energized, and I won't do this body language I'm speaking. You can see my previous secular video. Seek God's kingdom and be the doer of word. Sorry about that. And you will always want more. This MacBook, which is what I'm recording, I got it a month ago, and this watch I got it a week ago. You know, it might brings me, give me the happiness for like a few days, and then the next day I will still want more. I'm already craving an iPad because of how convenient it is, but I'm still guessing. I'm still considering. I don't wanna just spend all my money into things that might grant me some happiness, but a few days later I always want the next product and want more. Which is that money, no amount of money is enough. No money is enough. You will always want more. Like this. I made a few grants. You know what my next goal is? 10k per month. And probably when I hit 10k per month, I want 50k, 100k. I will always want more because of greed. We are humans, and we are always greedy. We always want the next thing. Like Elon Musk, when he had all the money he was the richest man in the world. And what he wants now? Power. He wants power to control anything, to control things. Like Trump as well. He made all the money. Now what he wants? Power. I'm not saying Trump is bad, but he wants to be president. We will always want more, and we will never be unfulfilled, which is why we need to find God. God can make us fulfilled, and living in the spirit just brings you some sense of peace and happiness. And money, a lot of people say that money is bad, like we should be poor. The poor, like being poor is the only way to enter the kingdom of God. I can say this is wrong, because if you think about it, in like, I forgot what the chapter is, but I forgot what the gospel is. You can chat GPT or Google it, but it says that if a man doesn't provide for his wife and children, he is way worse than unbeliever, which means that we need money to actually provide for our loved ones. So money can be a blessing from God if used correctly. If we use money to expand His kingdom or just make ourselves better, because we are making ourselves better in the image of Christ, and if we make ourselves better, and it can use it to honor God. Like I can use it to I can buy a better gym equipment, maybe a new iPad that I can take note when I read the Bible, or use it when I read my Bible in my home. I can use it as my big screen because my phone, the battery is just trash. Like it drains very easily. It's an iPhone 11, and I'm not planning to buy a 16 Pro Max because I don't find a need to it. I'm good with this iPhone 11. Yeah, it can be a blessing from God if you use it correctly to help people. Just buy the Bible and give it away to people. Maybe give food to the homeless. It can be blessing from God if you use it like to honor Him, like I said. And yeah, Jesus said, and if you think about it, Jesus wasn't like actually very poor. It was like his clothes is not like falling out of his body, and we can, and if you go back to like back then, David, King Solomon, I'll just use Solomon as example because he seek wisdom. He used his money to build church. He used his money to build God's temple, and he was using his money to honor God. And God blessed him with more riches. Basically, money is just depends on, because chasing money is no, not chasing money. Wanting to be wealthy and rich can depends on your intention. Depends on your intention. If you chase money because you want a nice car, nice mansion, and you wanna use it to bankers, of course, just don't pursue it. But I wanna use money to maybe go out to the world, explore God's creation, explore, and help people out, and provide for my family, because I guess this is a righteous and a way to honor God. I don't know if the traveling part, because I find traveling to other countries, exploring other country, especially like going on a ride, I just felt some sense of peace and happiness inside, and yeah, it can be a blessing from God. And I can say I wasn't as depressed and unfulfilled as before. I was like getting back into my old power, getting back into the zone again by being disciplined and doing what God's want. Because trust me, I don't feel like it when I record this video. When I record this video, it's always the time when I want to watch some movies, but I don't care. It's not my feeling, it's Christ. I don't do things through my own will. I do things through God's, because if when God tells me what to do, I'll do it without questioning my feelings. And I guess this apply to many of you. It's actually easier to say than done. Keep seeking the Lord's kingdom. Peace.